Okay, do you know what this stands for? Human immunodeficiency virus. And do you know the syndrome that it can cause or lead to? I'm sure you've heard of it before. It's called AIDS, Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. So we're going to take a look at HIV, its consequences, what it actually is. HIV is a virus. It's a virus. It's been in the news quite a lot. There's all kinds of new research that's going on. So we're going to try to keep this as updated as possible. I'll come back and add some things. If you know something about this, please share any of the new news that you've seen. We'll be taking a look at some documentaries as well. If you like Apple products and you have heard of the red products, so some of the cases come in red, look that up and see what that's actually about, and you'll be quite surprised and know that you're actually doing something good. Okay, HIV stands for the Human Immunodeficiency Virus. In our immune system, we have various cells. You've heard of white blood cells, and we have several different types of white blood cells that help us to fight off disease. One type of white blood cell is called a helper T cell, and the helper T cell will do something to activate the B cells, and the B cells are the ones that make antibodies, and antibodies are the things that help us to recognize the bad guys, recognize the specific antigens on the pathogens, which are the invading bacteria or viruses. Anyways, the point is here, HIV destroys T cells. And if you destroy T cells, then you can't activate B cells. If you can't activate B cells, you can't produce antibodies. So what HIV actually does is it weakens the immune system, hence the name human immunodeficiency, which means making your immune system deficient, which is not good. It makes you vulnerable to other types of diseases. The immune system makes the antibodies against HIV, and that's one of the ways that people actually get tested for HIV. So you're testing to see if your body has produced antibodies in response to HIV being present, and that's the test for whether someone is HIV positive or not. If you actually take the chance to read into stories about people who are HIV positive, you'll realize that it's not just one pill they're trying to take to keep this virus at bay. It's often a cocktail or a mixture of a whole bunch of these drugs. Antiretroviral drugs. If you understand how a virus actually works by putting its DNA into your cells, and its DNA or RNA will then hijack your cell machinery and start to make new viruses using your own cells. It's the most sneaky but brilliant way of taking advantage of another cell's resources and just creating your own. So it's pretty scary stuff if you actually look into what's actually going on. The antiretroviral drugs can be used to slow down the destruction of the helper T cells, and you want to try to keep yourself as healthy as possible. Just because someone is HIV positive doesn't mean that they have AIDS. So HIV/AIDS is described as a disease plus syndrome. If it becomes very advanced and your helper T cells are at a very low level and you have become sick with other diseases as a result of being infected with HIV, then we would say you have AIDS, which is acquired immune deficiency syndrome. The syndrome is when you have several diseases or conditions that are existing together. Having AIDS means you are capable of contracting diseases that a normal immune system would actually prevent you from getting, or simple things that a normal healthy person would get for a while and be over with in a few days might actually be life-threatening. Okay, and AIDS spreads by HIV infection. So try to check through this. A lot of questions about how can HIV be transmitted. So take a look here. Shaking hands, no. Kissing somebody, no. Although saliva contains HIV particles, it's not enough to make you sick unless there's some cuts in the mouth that allow blood to be shared. Sharing a heroin needle, obviously any kind of puncturing of the body is not good. Being a child of an infected parent usually means you become HIV positive, although there is new research to show some treatments have been somewhat effective in preventing a kid from remaining HIV positive after they are born. More on that later. Copulating, obviously, especially if there's no barrier between the bodily fluids being exchanged. I'm going to jump through this really quickly before students come into the classroom right here. But AIDS is spread through sexual intercourse. Abrasions to mucous membranes of sex organs can cause minor bleeding, transfusion of infected blood, sharing of hypodermic needles. Most of these things you know already. Social implications are many. Sufferers could be stigmatized, children are orphaned, economic productivity lost, cost of treatment is very high. You can go into many other details about this as well. And in the past, there used to be public service announcements to inform people about HIV, and so that to prevent people from being stigmatized. There are various laws in different countries that protect people from, for example, losing a job as a result of discrimination if someone is HIV positive or everything like that. I had a chance to visit an orphanage in Thailand recently, and every kid in that orphanage from the age of 0 to 16 was HIV positive, and most of them were born to HIV positive mother. Anyways, ask me about that in class, post some additional questions that you have about this. This is a big topic. This is not the only disease that's out there, but it has made a lot of waves, and people are very curious about this particular disease. All right, post some questions. Let me know if you have anything. Try this question out, and then check your answer. Bye-bye.